Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. I'm still over in Greece at the moment. The sun is just blazing down by the harbour side. It is so nice. It's been really good to kind of get away for a few days and chill out. The other guys, they've been over there yesterday in Madrid where Arsenal legends took on Real Madrid legends, and those guys told me that was brilliant over there as well. Arsenal legends losing that game by 2-1, but it's all about the cause, and they said it was such a fantastic evening. So nice one for those guys. But I'm still over in Greece at the moment, and do you know what? Still waiting on the deal to get done for Socrates Papavopoulos. Right, I'm starting to get the pronunciations in, and also Steven Lichtsteiner as well. You know, we're still waiting to see what happens with that. Those are the two deals that have been mooted heavily. As I said, my understanding over here is that the Socrates deal is going to be a deal that gets done. But you know, will those deals take place this week? That is what we're going to have to wait and see. And as we go into this new week, what are Arsenal going to do in the transfer window? As regards to doing it before the World Cup starts, because now, you know, the Premier League, as we know, is finished a couple of weeks, but well and truly finished now that the Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, all those competitions are finished, and we're now in full World Cup mode. And so you've got a lot of players away now with their national teams. You've seen lots of friendlies over the past couple of days. Even yesterday, Costa Rica, by the way, playing in a friendly, and Joel Campbell, remember him? He's still one of our players. He scored yesterday. So all of these transfers, the potential transfers, will they get done in time before the World Cup, or are Arsenal going to be doing a lot of these deals after the World Cup? So as usual, Arsenal being linked with lots and lots of players, and you know, some new players emerging with links today. Now, first one is Steven Bergwijn, probably haven't pronounced that right. He's Dutch, plays over in Holland for PSV Eindhoven, valued at about 20 million euros. He's a winger stroke striker, and reports from Holland are that last year he had a really good sort of breakout season for PSV Eindhoven. That's the thing, when you're a young player in a lot of these other countries, you get a chance to play. I was really thinking about this the other day. You get a chance to play in these countries, so you get a you know, because they don't have the money to go out there and buy these mega players, and players get a chance to play, develop, and then they get themselves in the shop window. Whereas our players in England, they don't get a chance. So you look at a guy like Enquiries, for instance, really talented. What if he was playing week in, week out? What would he be valued at? But he just doesn't get a chance to play week in, week out. It's one of the conundrums. And at the moment, I know I'm veering off topic slightly, that's why you're seeing a lot of English players opting to go abroad to Germany and places like that and play. Like Jordan Sancho did going to Dortmund. But anyway, back on topic, this guy, Steven Bergwijn, as I said, highly rated, a winger, which we could do with a winger. But 20 million euros said to be the price if Arsenal are going to try and get him in. Another player we've been linked today with is a guy, again, a new name to me, Tanguy Ndombele, plays for Lyon, midfield player, and he was due, from all reports, to sign for Paris Saint-Germain. It was supposed to be a done deal. He was supposed to be going over to Paris Saint-Germain, into their system. But at the last minute, that has kind of fallen through. PSG not really interested in him anymore. You know the amount of players they have over there, and he still wants to leave the club, but now there's lots of other clubs interested in him, and Arsenal is said to be one of those. There's said to be a total of 7 clubs, we're being told, interested in him. Now, is this agent speak? Agent saying that this, you know, all these players interested, all these teams interested in him, or is it genuine that so many players would like to get his signature? Here's another interesting link today. Rodrigo, who plays for Valencia, the 27-year-old striker, again a good player, Spanish international, being linked with a move to Arsenal today. Also Chelsea said to be really interested in him as well. Now, I don't know, he's a striker. and I just look at it and I say to myself, well, why would Arsenal be this summer? I mean, normally over all the other summers I've understood it, but this summer of all summers, why would Arsenal be linked with a player like Rodrigo, a striker? We've got Lacazette, we've got Aubameyang, we've got Welbeck who can play as a striker. As I just mentioned, Eddie Nketiah, a young guy that could, you know, can come in and do something. So Rodrigo, I very much doubt that this is a genuine link. As I said, you know, Chelsea and Arsenal linked with him today, and this is what I'm saying. You know, on this show, I was reading in the comments yesterday, one guy was going, "Oh, Robbie, what are you telling us about these players we're going to buy?" I'm not saying we're going to buy them. The point of this show is to tell you about players that we've been linked with, players that we've been rumoured with, and we try and decipher if it's going to be possible. And at the end of the day, over the years of doing this show, there's been players that we've been linked with that everybody said, no way, ridiculous, and we've ended up buying. I mean, in January, when we got linked with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if you was to look back at the comments on the first couple of shows when I spoke about it, everybody was saying I was chatting a load of rubbish. And Aubameyang's an Arsenal player now. So we really don't know what's going to happen with some of these things. There are some rumours that you can look on and say, I'll just see, it just looks so unlikely. And this is one of them, Rodrigo. I just can't see why Arsenal would go and buy Rodrigo. It would be a lot of money as well. So that one I very much doubt will happen, but we're being linked. Now this next one's a very interesting one. This is a centre-back, so every time we get linked to a centre-back, you can start to think to yourself, well, actually, this is possible. Because we all know that is the problem area at Arsenal. We all know that we desperately need a good centre-back at Arsenal, and this guy is a good centre-back. Benjamin Pavard, he's French, he plays for Stuttgart, and he's primarily a right-back really, but last season he played as a centre-back and did really, really well, and he's been linked with a move away to Arsenal as well. Now, Stuttgart would like to hold on to him because, you know, obviously a very talented player, but he's come out himself and said that, listen, I would like to move this summer. I would like to move. I'd like to move to the Premier League as well. So there's a lot of links today linking him with a move to Arsenal. As I said, it's obvious that Arsenal are in for centre-backs. It's probably Socrates is the one that they're really looking at. Will they just get one centre-back? Will somebody like this appeal to Arsenal? Somebody who can play right-back and centre-back. I remember that used to be one of the good things about Bakary Sagna, is that he could play as a right-back, but he could also fill in as a centre-back, and sometimes when he filled in as a centre-back, he was absolutely brilliant as well. So, again, another one that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. And finally, this one is still, you know, lot to talk about it yesterday, lot to talk about it since the start of the window, and still today, lots and lots to talk about it. It's getting hotter and hotter, and that's the Steven Nzonzi to Arsenal rumour. Nzonzi, as we know, plays for Sevilla. He's 29. That's the only thing that I kind of think, But he's just the sort of player that Arsenal need. He's big, imposing guy, really tall, strong, but not just a lump in the midfield. He's a very skillful player, good, can pass the ball really well, good at winning tackles, great in the air, and he knows the Premier League. He was in a very combative Stoke City team, and he knows the Premier League. He knows it. I think he was at Blackburn as well before going to Sevilla. So his mixture of knowing La Liga and the technical ability, etc., and the great job he done there under Unai Emery, and continues to do, so much so that he's burst into the French team for this year's World Cup. I think that he would be absolutely perfect for our midfield. And as I said, that connection with Unai Emery, the fact that they play together just makes it perfect for me. I'd love to see that happen. I'd love for that to be a signing that's made by Arsenal. But, you know, over the years of doing this show and over the years of following Arsenal, we know how frustrating we can be in the transfer market. There can be obvious standout players that you think to yourself, it's so obvious we need a guy like that and we don't get him. But in Zonzi, for me, I think me and a lot of other Arsenal fans would be overjoyed if finally we went and got ourselves a proper defensive midfielder, a proper shield, and I think you'd see such a difference in Arsenal's team. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget, the World Cup is coming up and we're going to be covering the World Cup. As you can see, you know what, our players so far do really well in the World Cup. As I said last night, for Costa Rica, Joel Campbell scoring, even though he's still our player, by the way, right? Mesut who scored at the weekend, Iwobi. We're going to be covering them all over the World Cup, plus covering the World Cup in general. I know this is ArsenalFanTV, but it's such a global event, football event, that we're going to give our spin on it over there in Russia and over here in the UK, with lots of the fans that you regularly see on ArsenalFanTV getting all over it as well. So make sure you check out all of our coverage of the World Cup. Whew, it is so hot. I'm going to go and run for the shade right now. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.